Thank you to my parents for also supporting this wedding, which was not in Montreal, where we're from. And I know it's been a bit overwhelming to be here when you don't know many of the people, but thank you for traveling, which I know is very difficult. And of course, thank you for your years of emotional support and advice about marriage. I left Canada almost 14 years ago, and that whole time, my parents have been on the other end of the phone line, and believe me, I mean that whole time, listening to me complain. My mother in particular for years was my romantic counselor, offering some of the most helpful thoughts on relationships. She said, "Your brain is much faster than your heart. Treat your emotions like you would treat a baby." She told me, "Love is a happy coincidence of moods." Most recently, she's taken to a new relationship tactic. If my father doesn't do what she says, she threatens not to divorce him. It's true. I have a lot to learn. My father, too, has, in his own way, offered romantic advice. We are very close, but he isn't the most open person about relationships. A few years ago, I'd been back visiting Montreal. It was a snowstorm. We were sitting in the car, listening to a radio chat show, when out of nowhere, he turned down the volume on the radio and just said, "Judy, relationships are hard enough when you're from the same religion." Then he turned the radio back up, and that was the end of that. I must tell all of you, my parents, married 37 years, adore John so much that they now call him instead of me. It's amazing. An amazing thing about getting married is that it brings together two families. Now I have two Jewish mothers. Our answering machine is like, "Hi, Judy and John, it's Sarah, call me. Hi, Judy and John, it's Elaine, call me. Sarah, call me. Elaine, call me. It's Sarah, I wanted to call Elaine, just checking with you if that's okay. It's Elaine, Sarah called, should I call her back? It's Sarah, I left a message for Elaine and then she called, but should I call her again?" I'm like, he's just not that into you. It is amazing to have a new family. We're delighted that John's grandmother, Gwen, who I met early on in our relationship and is an extraordinary 94-year-old woman, has been able to join us today. We're also exceptionally thankful to our siblings and their offspring, Leora, Liam, and Ellie, for your friendship and support. And Ellie, thank you for emceeing tonight on an off night. Thanks as well to our dear friends, muses, and rabbinic guides, Maya, Dan, Greg, Iris, Mark, and Daniel, for participating in this evening's blessings. John and I are big travelers, not surprising considering all four of our parents were born on different continents, England, Canada, Zimbabwe, and Kyrgyzia. We have friends and family across the world, and a heartfelt thank yous to those of you who have traveled today. There are people here from across the UK, including Scotland, and even further, Montreal, Toronto, Hamilton, London, Ontario, Los Angeles, New York City, San Francisco, Atlanta, Houston, Madison, Tel Aviv, Ra'anana, Jerusalem, Budapest, Amsterdam, Milan, Barcelona, Cape Town via Glasgow, Cameroon, and Hong Kong. John and I are so honored at the efforts you have made, especially in this financial climate, and so close to Passover and the G20. A special thanks to ushers and John's best men for their amazing work and speeches, which should be amazing when they happen. And then a special thanks to my bridesmaids here from the USA and China. It's like a peace treaty. Amanda, my college roommate, and Jamie, my preschool playmate.